ahead. On our pre-budget show today is Julia Goh, economist at CIMB Research. Julia, Budget 2015 marks the end of the 10th Malaysia Plan, and now this has also seen the implementation of the Economic Transformation Program. Now, in your opinion, how do you think this budget will be tailored to handle GDP growth issues?
I think the coming budget will be to ensure that growth is not compromised and standards of living are also not significantly compromised as a result of the implementation of GST on 1st of April next year, as well as the subsidy cuts. So I think the focal point will be helping to manage the rising cost of living and also providing assistance to the low and middle income households to tie them through this period. But we anticipate that, for at least maybe 2 quarters, we could see the weakness, and then hopefully people and businesses adjust to the new cost environment. Hopefully spending will stabilize and then start to pick up again in 2016.
Will we be in a catch-22 situation between the monetary and the fiscal policies?
I think Bank Negara has been very clear in communicating that they do not react to transitory and temporary adjustments, especially in prices, and especially if the prices are cost pushed. As a result of GST and subsidy cuts, and that would lead to a spike in inflation, particularly in the 2nd and 3rd quarter of next year, we don't think that the central bank will actually react to these adjustments.
If the interest rates are pushed up, then it would affect businesses, but then that is done due to high household debt in Malaysia. But on the other hand, if it's fiscal, then you have a flat rate, which would then again reduce the buying power of the consumers, which are mostly middle income and low income group, which form the biggest sector of the economy. So on one hand, you have the interest rate that would affect the businesses and restrict businesses from expanding, but on the other hand, you have a restrictive tax which would reduce the buying power of the consumers. So where would the growth come from? That's going to be a tough call, Julia, don't you think?
I guess we have to go back to the prime reason why we are introducing the GST, which is, of course, to enhance the government's revenue base and also to ensure that our fiscal balances return to a stronger position after we introduce the GST. So in terms of finding other drivers of growth, I mean, definitely in the short term, yes, consumer spending will be affected.
So the 11th Malaysia Plan has to be investor friendly. And in your opinion, what sort of incentives do you think the government would provide for domestic or foreign investors?
For one, corporate income tax rates are coming down. For year of assessment 2016, it should be coming down by 1%. If we can ensure that government revenues are enhanced and diversified, then it would provide a channel for the government to continue to lower the personal income tax rates and corporate income tax rates going forward.
Right. So now we're 5 years away from Vision 2020. 2015 will be the halfway point of the new economic model. What kind of challenges would you see in the next 5 years in terms of GDP growth?
I think one of the key challenges is ensuring inclusive growth and ensuring that everyone feels the benefits of it once we achieve a high-income nation status. And I think another challenge is also to transform the mindset of the people, because as you become a developed nation, obviously it's also about having a competitive mindset. So transforming the mindsets of people at the company level and at the individual level so that you can enhance productivity, you can also enhance growth.
But the concern is this, that given that GST is implemented next year, given that GST is imposed on companies that run above 500,000 ringgit, if the GST is taxed on consumers, then wouldn't that outprice the goods and services beyond affordability?
It's probably the middle income groups that would be, the sandwich middle income groups that would be feeling it the most. The implementation of GST, the government is going to cut the income tax rates. They're also increasing the cash assistance for the lower and middle income groups. So, these target sectors are probably the ones that they're most concerned about, and they are offering incentives to help them.
Thanks, Julia Goh from CIMB Research for her views on the Budget 2015. For more on the budget, stay tuned with StarBiz.